Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
Narcocop and Timothy hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call Narcocop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fight, Seki poured on ice. Lambo Plays podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cash it like a G. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Roses Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornholio vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG.
Narcocop, Timothy, Friday nights, yes. The Lambo Plays podcast, where long shots live large and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 133, UFC 315. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Timothy Troiano. Timothy, UFC 315 in Montreal. It's a pretty good card. I wouldn't call it a fantastic card, to be honest, from a pay-per-view standard, but, the top 2 fights are interesting. Title fights, so that's always good. The rest of the card is a little bit shaky. We got a bunch of Canadians on the card. That's kind of how it works when it's in Canada. But last week, for me, not a good week. I know you hit your whisper bet, so that was a good one. But outside of that, not much Lambo Plays hit last week. We almost hit that the super duper mooper fucking Lambo play. But yeah, Miesha Tate decided to get the takedown a little too late in that fight. How do you feel about this card, and how's everything else?
Everything's good. I hate this card, to be honest, man. I probably won't be buying the pay-per-view, which is funny because I bet it every time. So I hate this card. I don't like it from like a viewing perspective, and I don't like it from a betting perspective. So on the next week, man, I'm like Bill Belichick. We're on to Cincinnati right now.
Yeah, it's not the best card for betting. It's okay. I got a ton of CLV, which probably means I'm doomed this week. Usually that's how it goes in MMA. You get a ton of CLV, you go all the way down. So anyways, 154 already in here. Appreciate you guys. Let me go over to chat. Shout out my chat. First one in the house, Elijah one. Let's effing go. Black M says, cash them, don't trash them. That's my my little quote in the Discord. Playing for real says, let's go, boys. Kyle Larson says, let's fucking go. Good fight card this weekend. I think Tim would disagree. Mushroom, what's up? One more sleep. Azure, excited for another session with the crew led by Narcocop and Tim. Let's effing go. Jackie, inches away from hitting Tim's to the moon parlay last week. Why, oh, why? Did Cupcake take her back from Mount? Oh, well, excited to see what the boys have in store this week. Let's get it. I know it's really close. Jackie, why do you still have my picture from the Apex? It kills me every time I bring him up. I don't notice it right away. Then I look and it's me again. What the heck is going on? Buster Jensen, what's up? Narcocop or Tim hits a Lambo on this card. I hope you are right. DA07, Timothy Troiano, and Narco. Thank you for helping me win more than I should have last week. Hope you crush it tomorrow. Jillian KO2 and Takedown Props cleaned up last week. Yes, sir. Oreo, what up, though? Best intro in the game, says Dixon. See, somebody likes the intro. What's up, Daz? My man, Daz. Love that opening track every time. Started singing along now. Daz is the man. Daz is a big supporter of the show. Love the guy. Thank you, Daz. Appreciate you. Danny Link, best part of my day. Let's go. Philly Joel drove only 90 miles per hour tonight just to see the intro. Someone's Lambo hitting. I feel it. Thank you, Philly Joel. He only drove 90 this week, Tim. Is that okay? He had a seatbelt.
That's good.
All right. Joel, you're off the hook. Seatbelt on, 90 miles per hour. You have to catch the Lambo. If the cop pulls you over in this scenario, all you got to tell him is, listen, I got to go watch a podcast of a former police officer that is doing what it's called a Lambo Plays podcast for the UFC. So I got to catch it in time. They will let you go, believe me. William Tyner, decent lotion card. Tape study was fun. I don't know. We're going to have to ask Tim about this later on. Glenn Bott, what's up, my man? Subhuman, Evening Gang, what's up? Craig Crowley, what's up, my friend? Felipe in the house, shout out to you as well. Half the Battle is in the house. Dan Levy, go follow my man Dan Levy. Half the Battle, one of the best podcasts out there for the UFC and MMA in general. VCR Repairman, welcome to the Katona verse. Oh, we can't wait for that breakdown. Mr. Ozzy Willow says, I never knew Tim had a top of a head. Oh, boy. Poker player, let's go, he says. Mr. Iman, Tim, go get backwards hat on. Oh boy. Ted B says, I'll watch tomorrow, but here's what is not said. As promised, when Grasso went in Southpaw last fight, I was not there, and the left hit home often. All right. Club and Sub podcast. Tim looks like Bill Belichick without the hat. Another great MMA podcast, the Club and Sub podcast. Danny Lags and my man John Stargarian. Dan Quirk, let's go Narco and Tim. Whisper bet's going to hit like crack from the 80s. Jermaine, let's go. Eric Albright, you're cool with that Pickens trade. Ease 909, we're all rooting for Bilal so we can get Islam Topuria. I think, yeah, that's what it is. Like, Bilal's not going to fight him. So, yeah, probably. What else do we have here? Wahib says, Lambo. Buster Cherry says, finally made a live show. Let's cash this week. Appreciate you. Jason, he's telling Mushroom to stop crying because he doesn't like the intro. Yeah, Liam has his own show, Henry. Liam has his own show. He's here. He's a good friend. So, yeah. Silky B, what's up, my friend? All right. Then we have 225 live viewers already. We need to kick it off here. First fight of the night in the bantamweight division. It is the 14-4 Brad Katona versus the 11-2 Baz Baksat Elmahan. And you know what? We have to let you start this one off. I mean, it's Brad Katona. Go ahead.
So this fight's interesting. I had a chance to talk with Brad Katona on this fight about this fight, and this is the tape of him basically letting me know what's going to happen in this fight. I'm Brad Katona. I am going to take Baksat, whatever the fuck his name is, straight to the Katona-verse. He doesn't understand that it's worse in the Katona-verse. He is going to need a nurse when he arrives in the Katona-verse. Let me let you know he's going out in a hearse once he reaches the Katona-verse. Because I'm Brad Katona. and this message has been approved by Brad Katona. So that was what he said about the fight. I thought that, you know, he was it's interesting always. Brad brings the heat. Probably not going to be a very entertaining fight. I'll say that. I just think that there's a couple ways that this fight could go. I think split decision, clear as day, shit line, plus 275. Brad by split, plus 600. He fights close in almost every single fight. The swing for it type prop on this one, I think those are actually like super live on this fight. I think that both of those are, you know, not great lines, but I think they're very possible to happen in this fight. Like a bigger, higher, take a chance type prop for this one. I think that it's possible that Katona could get a sub late in the fight, because I think that Beksat like gave up just really bad positions, and when Umar fought him, he just kept going for ground and pound. Like, I honestly think Umar was just concussed after round one and just like didn't really even attempt submissions where they were actually there. He's been subbed before. I think, you know, Brad does grapple in almost every single fight he tries to. Some bad positioning. I think that there is a potential, like it's like 16-1 late round props are probably pretty juicy as well. So yeah, I think it is possible that he could get a sub. So, but I'll take the end split into Katona spy split.
All right. Yeah. So I'm going to have a weird one for this fight, and everybody's going to be strapped in and be like, what the hell's going on here? So Brad Katona, I don't know. You said it's going to be boring, but none of Brad Katona's fights are really boring. They're all wars back and forth. Like, I don't think he has many boring fights, honestly. Just look at the Matsumoto fight last fight. I was there for that. That was an absolute war back and forth. He showed really good in that fight. It was an extremely, I know they gave it unanimous decision one way. Honestly, that could have been unanimous decision either way, or even split decision. It was a very, very close fight.
Yeah, I thought he won, actually.
It was very close. And Matsumoto, you know, even though he lost his last fight, the kid's still a prospect. He's really good. You know, Brad Katona is a well-versed fighter. He can strike. He can grapple. He's got good defensive wrestling. He's very durable. He's got good cardio. You know, all the things you want to look into a fighter, he kind of has it. The thing with him is he's not great at anything, right? He's just good at everything. He's a solid fighter, right? And that's why you see him fight close against a lot of guys, a lot of good prospects. Like Matsumoto is a very good prospect. He fights extremely close with him. You know, Garrett Armfield, you know, he a little bit too late to the party there. Like, he won round 3, but he gave up round 1 and 2. And I'm looking at this guy Beksat, and, you know, I get, you know, he's kind of a prospect, I guess. He's 27. You know, he's young. He came into the UFC on short notice against Umar. He dropped Umar early, right? And everybody's like, oh my God, this guy's good. This guy's blah, blah, blah. But then he got ragdolled for the rest of the 14 and change, you know, in the fight. Like, he didn't do much outside of that. He had decent get-ups. You know, he got up, which props to him for getting up. But what else did he do outside of that one moment in that fight? You know, and then not much, in my opinion. And then I look at his regional tape, you know, and there's some concerns, you know, like he's getting to absolute war with this Mario Mestre Marani guy or whatever that's from Argentina. I don't know. Is this guy that good? This guy just been finished 3 out of the last 4 fights against like regional guys. And yet the fight against this Elmahan is an absolute war back and forth. You know, Elmahan fine won the fight, but it was close. Then I look at in the fight against Gloria, Matthias Gloria, Elmahan gets dropped in round 1 against this dude. You know, so it's like, is this guy really that good, or is it just he had one moment against Umar and now everybody's gonna, you know, just give him a little bit more props than what he deserves? You know, is he a pretty good striker? Yes. Is he good, you know, decent grappler? Yes. I think he's also well-rounded, but the experience edge here has to be for Katona, even though this guy has, decent amount of fights under his belt. He has 13, and only Katona only has, like 20 something if you count the tough ones. But you're talking about UFC experience, and Katona has a lot of it, compared to this guy. And so what Katona showed me, it's like this prop, Tim, is going to hit one of these days. I'm telling you right now. It's going to hit because Katona always swings from his hip. And honestly, if you look at the last fight against Matsumoto, he hurt Matsumoto in round 1. He hurt Matsumoto pretty bad in round 1 at the end of the round. And I've seen this guy drop by worse guys. Katona KO is 22-1. I know I'm crazy for even playing this. This guy's never been knocked out in 13 fights. Katona only has 1 knockout and 14 wins. I get all that. But the guy swings hard. I just literally saw him hurt Matsumoto, who's extremely durable last fight. The price is right for me. It's 22-1 for a guy that, Elmahan is not the best defensive. Both guys are not good defensively when it comes to striking defense. And so do I think there's moments where both guys could possibly be hurt, right? So I'm just going to take a stab, man. 22-1 on the KO. It's just one of those where kind of like throwing a dart at. It's going to happen just because Katona throws from the hip. He throws hard. He probably doesn't have heavy hands or carries a lot of power, but he does throw hard. And I saw him, like I said, hurt his last opponent in Matsumoto. And Matsumoto is showing like he's very, very durable. Elmahan, I'm not sure how durable he is. He's never taken a shot in the UFC, really. He got grappled. So, yeah, 22-1. Why not? Why not take him to the Katona-verse and maybe find the KO? Yeah, you see, John, Katona fights are pretty electric, man. I think so. Katona brings it. Under says club and sub. Yeah, I don't mind an under. But yeah, Katona's just so fucking tough to get out of there. He's been hurt before, don't get me wrong, but and this Beckset guy has the speed advantage for sure. So I could see it, but 22-1, I don't know. I'm gonna take a poke here. It's probably not happening, but the price is too big. Let's move on. Fight number 2. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 11-2. Daniel Santos versus the 11-2 Jung Young Lee. So Santos took it on short notice, up a weight class, missed weight initially. He came in at 147, went back. 30 minutes later, he came back, cut weight. He made 146 with the curtain. He was very pumped. He was extremely excited that he made weight. I don't think he looked great on the scale, to be honest. His body-wise, it looked like he had a lot of fat on that body. This guy is a guy that used to fight at 25, guys. He's going to be severely undersized here against Jung Young Lee, who's pretty fucking damn big for 45. He's not a small 45er. And listen, last fight out against Haider Emil, I don't know what he was thinking, dude. I really don't. I guess Haider Emil kind of tricked him into getting a fucking brawl, because if you watch that fight, Lee lands a big either right hand or left hook. I don't remember which one it was. And you could literally see Emil's eyes roll back. He got hurt very bad on the feet. But what does Emil do when he gets hurt? He fucking clinches on that mouthpiece and then just starts chucking. And what did Lee do? He's like, yeah, let's fucking just chuck. And now you just played into Emil's hands, right? That's what he wants. That's what this guy did. And he got knocked out, right? Honestly, I'm pretty shocked he took that many punches without kind of being dropped. He ate bomb after bomb after bomb from Haider Emil. And he's tough for even standing up and trying to swing back at some of those exchanges. So, when you look at these other fights, Yazzie shot 1 million takedowns. We knew that his knee, he had an ACL in that fight. He's tough to takedowns. He won the fight. I don't think it has anything to do with Daniel Santos. I don't think Santos is shooting 22 takedowns. I don't think, any of that. Santos is a brawler as well, kind of like Emil. But he doesn't bring that type of pace, that type of, and I also think Emil has more power, to be honest, than Santos. The one thing I noticed with Santos is he gets clipped with head kicks a lot. I went back and I watched that Castaneda fight. He got clipped a couple of times. I watched the Arce fight. He got clipped with one. I watched even Munoz clip him into the head once. So this guy's like prone to get kicked in the head. The other thing with Santos is, dude, like seven pullouts in the last 5 years. It's crazy. This guy's constantly pulling out. He's either has a health issue or something's going on with this guy. There's no way you have that many pullouts if there's not something else going on behind the scenes, right? He's either letting himself go in between fights and he's ballooning up to God knows how much, and then he's trying to cut to 35. It's way too much, I will say that Santos is kind of a chaos fighter. He's durable. I wouldn't want to say durable. I want to say he's resilient. He can come back when being hurt. He's that type of guy. I do think that Lee is the crisper striker of the two. I think he's the better striker. He has more process. And at 45, I don't know. He's got to have more power here at 45 than Santos does. Grappling wise, I think Santos is going to have a hard time if he tries to take this fight to the ground just because of how big Lee is. He has pretty good takedown defense. When I look at this fight, could it be close? Yeah. The line indicates it could be close. I did get in Lee at way early at plus money. He's now ballooned up to minus 148, which is almost minus 150. I wouldn't play him at this range, but Tim, split decision here, plus 550. It's actually I was surprised when I saw it at plus 550.
Yep.
The fight goes, which also is kind of weird. It's plus 130. They're really, really overrating, I think, the finish here in this fight. I think both guys are durable. Just because Lee got knocked out like that last fight, I think the guy is durable, and so is Santos. So, plus 550 on the split. And then I also sprinkled a little bit. I do think Lee wins this fight, and Lee decision is plus 320. So, I like both. I like split, but I'm also playing the decision prop on Lee at plus 320. Tim?
Yeah, it's a big echo chamber here on this one. I got end split, Lee points, Lee by split. Lee by split was plus 900. So plus 550, plus 320, plus 900. Complete echo chamber on this one. I think, the face-off, dude, Lee looked a solid 2 weight classes up. Santos, like you said, is pulled out more than I did in college. So it's congrats to him for that. And yeah, I just think that this is a two guys that are going to go after each other. I also think that there's a really a couple fighters where you have overcorrections in this card. I think this could be an overcorrection fight for Lee to not go fucking full rabies mode and white knuckle it against this guy and just be the more technical striker, be the bigger guy, huge reach advantage, and just to not get into the brawl. So yeah, I like the, and then I think like you said on Santos, I think he's shown to be durable, taking head kicks and still not dying. And just he's going to throw a lot of volume. So, he's going to keep pressing forward. He's going to keep doing that. So I like them. I like the same bets as you for the same reasons.
Yeah, he's definitely going to throw a lot of volume. Yeah, he's not getting the same medicine as the rest of the Diego Lima boys. I don't think, I don't know. Oliveira's not giving him the right stuff here. What else do we have? Lee looked big after in the face-offs. Yeah, Lee's big. He's a big dude. All right. Let's move on, Tim. Fight number 3. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 16-9 Marc-Andre Berio versus the 23-12 Bruno Silva. This one's yours.
I'll keep it short on this one. I think that this fight has some serious volatility to it, just from Marc-Andre Berrio's, chin seeming to get worse and worse, and he's the style fighter where he needs a chin, really. And so I just think that that's, the win condition for Silva is there. Silva been struggling with things mentally, struggling with anxiety. So hope that gets going for him. But I mean, if you're going to any professional sport is bad with anxiety, but fucking fighting would probably be one of the worst. So I just think that this is a fight where, it's a classic kind of cook 'em spot for Marc-Andre Berio. Better cardio, better grappling. So I like the round 2, round 3 props for MIB, and I think you should take some small stabs at the sub 2, sub 3 at 38-1, 44-1. He doesn't grapple a lot. He doesn't really go for takedowns a lot in fights, but I just think that this is a clear, it could be club and sub, but I just think it's also a clear, dude, take this guy down and don't give him his win condition type fight. And I think it could be an overcorrection for him as well, where he just doesn't do what he normally does and goes for a little bit more grappling because he just got bonked in his last couple fights.
Yeah, man. I mean, initially I'm like, I watched tape and I'm like, man, Bruno has a chance to, probably knock this dude out. And I listened to this long ass interview in Spanish for Bruno Silva. And it's a crazy interview. I'm gonna make it short so everybody can know. So basically, Bruno Silva was actually cut, right? UFC told him he was done after his 4th straight loss. He didn't have a contract anymore. Then he says he thought about what he was going to write to Mick Maynard. He thought about it. He wrote it. He sent it to his manager, said, "Can you please send it to Mick Maynard?" Mick Maynard answered back. He goes, "Sorry, you got 4 straight losses. You just lost another one. I can't really, there's no justification for, signing you again." Then he messaged again and he said to him, he says, "Hey, listen, I've been to UFC for a long time. I've never, ever declined a fight. I've never said no to you. I've always accepted every single fight that you have given me, including short notices." He said, "Please give me one more chance. My mind wasn't right, mental issues. I have to go see a psychologist, psychiatrist, blah, blah, blah. I have to get in the right mind and I will come back and fight and make you proud," or whatever, something like that. Mick Maynard answers. He says, "Okay." He says, "You know what? I'm going to give you one more chance, 1 fight contract. So get your mind right. Call me back when you're ready." Apparently, he calls him back. He's ready. He gives him a 1 fight contract. He only has 1 fight, by the way, guys. This is his one and only chance to make it right. And he missed weight. He came in and missed weight. And dude, you could see when he missed weight, he put his head down on the curtain thing. He was distraught, bro. So that was honestly, if he came in looking happy, solid at weigh-ins, I might have thought about playing him at plus money. There's no chance I could play this guy now. He's distraught. He looks bad. I what am I going to say? This fight, Marc-Andre Berio has not been looking good for a while, to be honest. And I'm not talking about the 2 knockouts recently. I mean, I'm going back to the Marquez fight. He didn't look great in that fight. He did not look good. Getting hurt early, pretty bad by Marquez. Did he look good in the Curtis fight? Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a fight that he likes, just pocket fighting. Both guys like that. So it fit his style. But, he hasn't really looked good, man. Dustin Stoltzfus, he didn't even see that left hook. And he absolutely put him to sleep, dude. And I don't know who has Dustin Stoltzfus ever put to sleep. And he put Marc-Andre Berio to sleep. And the thing with Marc-Andre Berio is he's known to have a pretty damn good chin. He's known to be tough. And I think that's kind of going away here, honestly. He's getting a little bit older. He's 35. And then, like I said, the other guy has all these issues. I don't want to touch this fight. But if you're going to make me touch it, and I've done this a lot with one side, it's Marc-Andre Berio round 2, round 3. It's plus 700, plus 900. It's probably going to be KO. But listen, this is a guy who's cashed me a lot of round 2, round 3 KO props. I've made a lot of money on Marc-Andre Berio. I'm going back to the well one more time because this guy missed weight. He has those mental issues. Marc-Andre Berio definitely pushes a very good pace. I could see him potentially breaking Silva, even though Silva's tough. I could see him breaking him. In his mind, think about this, Tim. In his mind, he knows this is his final fight if he loses. He's breaking. He's losing the fight. It's round 2, round 3. He knows he's going to lose. He's got no more. He might just fucking give up, honestly. So, yeah. I mean, I'm taking a shot. Plus 700, plus 900. Marc-Andre Berio, 2-3. All right. Let's move on. Fight number 4. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 6-0 Navajo Sterling versus the 14-4 Ivan Urslan. I will never forgive this guy, Navajo Sterling, for not finishing Toko Tukos last time. I had a bet on him. Can't believe he didn't finish him. It was an ITD bet, I believe, or something. And he couldn't finish this guy. And, Tokos was moving around. He was grappling. We know the hole in Navajo Sterling's game. It's definitely grappling. It's takedown defense. He needs to work on it. He has he's a very good kickboxer. He's got really good kicks, really good boxing, but his takedown defense is not great. It needs to be worked on because as you move up in the light heavyweight division and you face some grapplers, you're probably going to get rinsed on the mat. If Toko Tukos is taking you down multiple times, it's kind of a bad sign. Like, Toko Tukos is not even a grappler. I think the guy is he's a striking guy, and yet he took him down 3 times. Embarrassing, But we have to give him a break. It's his first UFC fight, so maybe there was jitters, maybe there was stuff like that. He slowed down. Maybe he went for the kill and couldn't finish. But I think in this fight against Urslan, who I think Urslan has good power. He sits in the pocket. He tries to exchange big shots. He does get hurt a lot in fights. I will tell you, he got hurt in Eon fight. He got hurt and finished in Heretic fight. He got hurt. He got dropped 3 or 4 times against Ibrahim Chuzagayev. Like 3 or 4 times he got dropped in that fight. So this is a guy that gets hurt in fights. And don't get it twisted. Even though he's been knocked out only once, I've seen him hurt multiple times. He has big power, but his defense is not very good. And he likes to stand and bang. And against a technician like this, and you're not moving around a lot, I think he's going to pick you apart. I think Navajo Sterling, that's what he wants. What Toko did to him is he moved a lot. He shot. Maybe Urslan tries to grapple. I don't know. I've seen him grapple a little bit on tape, so maybe he does that. But again, this is a fight. It's like, what am I going to choose here as far as a Lambo, right? I went with one play. It's Sterling KO1. I think he's going to pick him apart early. This guy, Urslan, doesn't move much. It's plus 290 on FanDuel, so it's a used Lambo. But I'm sorry, it's not KO1. It's just round 1. Just round 1. Do not play KO1 because it's like 20 cents or 30 cents difference. Just round 1, plus 290 on Navajo Sterling. I have nothing else on this fight. Tim, what do you like here?
First of all, I think that we got to get a fight between Ivan Urslan and Ibo Aslan next, just to confuse the fuck out of everybody. I think that needs to happen next. They both also fought Eon, so I think that would be great just to get people confused. I agree with you. I think that the KO is the way to go here for Sterling. I kind of think his last fight was like a mixture of octagon jitters, first fight jitters, as well as I just think it's also possible coming from City Kickboxing that they're like, hey, dude, by the way, Carlos Ulberg in his first fight was a big favorite, and shot his load like way too fast, way too early against Kennedy, hit him with 100 punches and then died the next round. So don't shoot your load too much too early against this guy. So it's possible. Obviously, it's totally narrative based, but I think a combination of first fight jitters, as well as, you know, seeing that fight in your camp and knowing that one of your fighters in your weight class actually are, you know, did this. I think it's possible. I do think Sterling, like, I think that the most dangerous round for Sterling in this fight is round 1, because I think that Ivan pretty much has 5 minutes to go, and then he just slows down in every fight. So I'm going to say that he plays it a little bit safe and go for the round 2, round 3 for Sterling. I do agree with you that it easily could happen in round 1, but round 2 is plus 480, round 3 is plus 700, not taking KO for the same reasons you didn't.
All right. Let's move on. Fight number 5. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 17-6 Modestas Bukowskis versus the 19-10-1 Ion Coutalaba. Go ahead, Tim.
God, this fight is a shit show. Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch written down on this one, which means I should not bet this one. I see it kind of like, I see it early Ion, late Modestas. Modestas has had a, fighting some dudes that are kind of scrubbish the last couple fights, being able to get some finishes. Ion is the type of fighter that could give Modestas trouble early. Just a guy who's just going to go absolutely full rabies Hulk mode and go for a kill round 1. And then he tends to just gas if he does that. I don't know that, he's going to have easy takedowns. He doesn't have great control for Ion. He doesn't have really great technique in his takedowns and his wrestling. It's just kind of just muscles through things. Man, I don't know. I like I said, I'm not super confident in this fight. I'm going to go for the big ones just because why the fuck not? I'm probably not going to have many bets on this fight. Round 2, round 3, Modestas 1,000 plus 1,300. His sub 2, sub 3 are 45-1 and 50-1. I think it's possible because you just get Ion will do like stupid shit, put his neck out there to be choked, go for really bad takedowns, could land on bottom. Yeah, I think it's early Ion, late Modestas.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely could happen as well. I think Ion, I will say that I think he's fighting a little bit better lately, like smarter. Like he's not going rabies, even though I know you're going to look at the last fight and say, oh, well, it was rabies. But that's how Aslan fights, right? He brings this insane pace, crazy pace. And, Ion had to kind of match it. Like otherwise he would run him over, So he took big shots there. Took him pretty well, to be honest, and then came back and finished him in round 1. But you look at the Urslan fight, it was a little bit better, right? Better process. Was he throwing big? Sure. But he's mixing in takedowns. His cardio looked much better. Felipe Lin's fight, I think he had trouble with Lin's size a little bit, and the leg kick game from Lin's really, really got to him. He landed a lot of big calf kicks and basically left him, one-legged in that fight. So I do think that lately, if you see the last 2 decision, he wasn't like completely gassing those fights, even though at the end of that Urslan fight, he did get taken down in round 3. He did lose round 3, but I don't think he was like completely death gas, like normally he would be, Bukowskis doesn't really bring like a crazy high pace. He's not going to grapple for the most part, even though he got a submission against Prachniow. He's not a grappler. And you look at that Prachniow fight, dude. It was 1-1, right? Round 3, Prachniow comes out like a bat out of hell, starts landing big shots on Bukowskis. He doesn't like it, lands that takedown and gets the finish for us in round 3. And I had a 2-3 on that one. He got it for us. And last fight, what are you going to make out of this Sirikera guy? He's terrible. He's not even UFC level. He's a bot. He's not a good fighter. He KO'd him in round 1, whatever. This guy historically fights close. Bukowskis does. He fights close. You see the Pauga fight, extremely close. You could have gave it either way. I was surprised, actually. It was unanimous. Coutalaba, he's fought the way better level of opposition, right? If we talk about who he's fought, we talk about Ryan Spann, we talk about, Kennedy, who's, a good fighter, Ankalaev a couple of times. You could talk about Glover, we talk about Roundtree. This guy's faced really good guys. And I think this is honestly, it's a massive step down from a lot of these guys when it comes to. Now, when you talk about technical striking, I do think Bukowskis is a little bit better. He's got the kicking game. He's got, a little bit cleaner, more straighter shots. But, Coutalaba is way more dangerous than him, So in this fight, I've called Bukowskis a weasel because, outside of that one time where, he got one punch knocked out against Petrino, he's like a weasel. When he gets hurt, he starts running around. He's pretty much a weasel when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I could see Coutalaba hurting him, but not finishing. I could see Coutalaba landing takedowns, but not controlling. And where I'm getting at is Coutalaba decision is plus 650 on ESPN. It's plus 600 on FanDuel. I just think Coutalaba probably has bigger moments in the fight. I think he can mix in takedowns in the fight. He would be a dummy if he just grappled like crazy, because I do think that will tire him out. But yeah, man, I just think Coutalaba decision 650, the way he's been fighting lately, it's not rabies. It really isn't. And I think I don't think he goes crazy here. So yeah, plus 650 on decision, bigger moments for him, some takedowns, maybe a little bit of control. I don't think he can control Bukowskis that much, to be honest, but maybe a little bit. So
yeah, his end split is 7-1, and his split is only 14-1, which isn't that great. I thought it was going to be better, but
yeah, I'd rather take decision. It's almost 7-1,
yeah,
6.5. All right, let's move on. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 26-13 Jessica Andrade versus the 13-3 Jasmine Jasudavicius, and this one's yours, Tim.
No, I think it's yours.
Is it mine?
Yeah, you just went second on that one.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, I look at this fight and I think one thing. Well, I think two things. One, there's one side of this fight in Jessica Andrade who most of her fights that she wins are against strikers, right? Girls that are going to stand in front of her, girls that are going to strike with her, and she can win the fight, right? Where she loses is she gets grappled, right? You look at her losses, and it's mostly from grappling, right? Going back to Shevchenko was grappling. Aaron Blanchfield was grappling. The Zhao Yunan fight, I don't even know what happened, but she got KO'd. But Tatiana Suarez grappling. Outside of Natalia Silva loss, most of them have been grappling, right? On the other side, it's literally the polar opposite for Jasudavicius. It's her beating strikers for the most part, right? Again, the only case is the Natalia Silva one where, she's beaten both girls and she's just a very good mover and it's hard to track her down. But the only other loss is Tracy Cortez, who's a very good wrestler, right? Cortez is a good wrestler. And Andrade is nowhere near that level of wrestling or defensive wrestling. So when you look at all these other girls that she's beaten, right? She's taken them down. She's taken them down and did her thing. Now, the thing that I like most in this fight for JJ is the fact that I don't think she needs to track down Andrade. Andrade is going to come forward, right, and swing big shots, which will put her in positions where she can either get a body lock, she can duck under for a double leg, whatever, right? it's not like a Natalia Silva fight where she's skirting the cage. She needs to track her. She can't track her down. No, it's completely different in this sense. So I think, Andrade throwing big hooks, stuff like that, just opens up more takedown opportunities for JJ. And honestly, on top, I think she's probably one of the best girls when she gets on top. Like, she's really good with her ground and pound. She's very, very mean. And then I look at Andrade, she got crucifixed by Valentina. We've seen JJ go for that crucifix a lot in fights. She can even mount and throw down big ground and pound, opening up maybe a submission. Yeah, it's around 2-3 all day for me here. Again, 700, 900. And a little bit sneakier, I would go honestly KO 2-3 plus 1,000 over the sub 2-3, just because I think she's going to land ground and pound, man. And I think she wants to make a statement by just finishing her on the mat with ground and pound. So, yeah, I'm going 2-3 here and a little bit of sprinkle 2-3 KO. Tim?
Yeah, you and I are seeing this one the exact same way. I had Andrade in her last two fights. I had Andrade KOing Dern, had her versus Marina. Just think the same thing. Like, just she does what she does well, and if she doesn't have, there you go. She has. It's basically like, since she hurt her back and had the back surgery, she's just a different fighter. Like, her grappling is not nearly as good. Like, her wrestling is not nearly as good. Her physicality isn't as good. Even when she has edges to grapple, like against Marina, she's not even like going hard at that anymore. So I think that's just a big factor. I think Jess off of her back is really not good. If she's on top, she's good. But if she's off her back, she really just is not good. I mean, realistically, she should be fighting a weight class down, and she has, and she's dominated there. This is just not a good weight class. Like, she's just too small. Can she bonk Jasmine? Yeah. I mean, I think it's possible. I think that Jasmine has shown that she's like as tough as $2 steak, and has taken a bunch of shots against a bunch of fighters. But yeah, I agree. I think it's tough to believe that Jess is going to have an easy time getting up multiple times in this fight. So yeah, I think round 2, round 3, and KO 2-3 for me for Jasmine.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that fight against Lauren Murphy, and it was very impressive. Like, she stuffed a lot of takedowns, but I also don't think Lauren Murphy is like a very good grappler or even her wrestling. Her wrestling is not very good, Lauren Murphy. So I'm not saying that, this girl's wrestling is great, but she knows how to get fights to the ground, dude. Like, Jasmine just knows. Look at her UFC run, right? There's only been one fight where she hasn't gotten the fight to the ground, and that's Natalia Silva. And the only reason she doesn't get that is because of the movement, dude. The movement and the punishment she put on her is why that happened. So yeah, I mean, she's gotten everybody down, and I don't think she's not going to get Andrade down here. All right, let's move on. Fight number 7. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 11-2-1 Mike Malott versus the 10-4 Charlie Radtke. Tim, this one's yours.
As you know, I'm a big Mike Malott supporter. I'm on an island with this guy a lot of the time. Everybody hates him because he's lost to Magny. He's gassed before in fights. I mean, I obviously the Magny look is a really bad look. Could have fought through it, had like 20 seconds. But I mean, again, realistically, he was fucking beating his ass for 13 minutes, 12 and a half minutes. Was dominating and then gave up. So once he got down, he couldn't get up. I think in this particular fight, not been like a huge Charles Radtke guy. I think he's kind of a brawler. I don't think that he's a great grappler or wrestler. I just think basically like in every facet of like MMA minus cardio and potentially, I don't even really know what Chuck Buffalo's durability, or not durability, but cardio is. I haven't think that it's that great either. But I think obviously we've seen round 3 for Malott in multiple fights where he's kind of gassed. So I think, skill for skill, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking, I think Mike's better on all of them. I feel like Mike would have subbed Blood Diamond in that same positions that he had for the whole fight. I just think, like I said, I think he's better everywhere. So I think he's going to probably fight a range fight, stay at range, not do too much. I think that the fight with Giles last fight was way closer than it should have been. So I don't, it's not like I think that there's no shot here for Radtke. I think that there is. He's probably going to be pressing forward. He's probably going to be landing some of the bigger shots. But I'm going to say volume, and in Canada, there could be some fuckery here. So ends by split is a big line, plus 700. Mike by points, plus 310. Mike by split, 11-1. So, yeah, I'll take a little stab on this fight going to decision here, and Mike winning a decision, close one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think split is good here, just because it's a huge line, plus 700. I think they're overrating the finish in this fight. Like, does Radtke have power? Sure, yeah. He's got a big left hook. He's got power in his hands. We've seen Malott hurt. We've seen him dropped. And yeah, I mean, could he knock him out? Sure. Could Malott knock him out? Sure. We've seen Radtke finished as well. So I think that's why the lines are where they are. I mean, if you look at Radtke, though, his finishes have been to the body both times. He's actually taken punches really well to the head and face. Like, he's got a pretty good chin. I don't think Malott is like some huge puncher either. I think he's more technical than anything. He's got good kicks. He's a lot more dangerous on the ground. But listen, I don't think he's a better wrestler than Radtke. That's my thing here. I don't think he has better wrestling than Radtke. I think Radtke actually might be the better wrestler of the two. Jiu-jitsu, sure, Malott is better, but wrestling, I don't think he's better. So, I think this fight is close, honestly. The boxing, I kind of feel like Radtke's boxing is very close to Malott's. I think it's the kicking game that Malott has better, right? So I think this is a close fight, honestly. I think it's a very, very close competitive fight. I know he's in his hometown, obviously, in Canada, in his home country. So could there be fuckery? Sure. That's why split. I'm going with that. It's plus 700. I got nothing else. I think I honestly watching how timid he was last fight, Mike Malott against Giles. I don't know if I can play this guy minus 190s, just because the reason why I'm saying that is because Radtke's not going to sit on the outside and just let you kick him like Giles. Like, if Giles, think about that fight. If Giles comes forward and presses him, it's going to be a completely different fight. He's going to try to make him work there, and he's not going to just sit there and kick him into oblivion for 15 minutes. So I don't see Radtke on any of his tape, including the Prates fight. There's none of them that he didn't pressure his opponents. And I think he's going to pressure his opponent here. Now, could he get caught? Sure. Could he catch Malott? Sure. But split at plus 700. It's the only prop that really is calling my name. The other ones, I don't like the pricing, So, yeah, I'm with you here. Plus 700 on the split decision here. I just feel like it's way too large. Fight goes is interesting also at like plus 168. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a stupid line. Like plus 168, and then you're giving 7-1 on end split is.
That's what I'm saying. They gave a good line. I mean, good line for split. They're saying it's going to be one. If it hits decision,
it's the same as me. It's the same.
They kind of think it's one-way traffic.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
All right, fight number 8. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 13-3 Benoit Saint-Denis versus the 18-8 Kyle Propolek, second replacement. What I will say is Propolek was supposed to fight today. He had a fight scheduled. So he was training. That's why he made weight very easily. I mean, he didn't have a hard time at all. He's like one of the first ones on the scale. He looked good on the scales. He was training for a fight. So it was a really easy call up for him. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. I'm back in the UFC. You know, why not? But I mean, he's got his work cut out for him. Like, you know, Propelek, he's got power, bro. Like, that's the one thing. I do not sleep on his power. He's got a lot of power in his hands. He hurts a lot of guys. He's got a lot of knockouts, 10 knockouts in 18 wins. So he's got knockouts. He's got power in his hands. You cannot sleep on his hands. He can hurt you. He has good kicks. So you got to be careful in that sense. But Benoit Saint-Denis, man, honestly, he should roll here. Like, he's a huge favorite. He should definitely roll here. You know, if we've seen anything from Propelek, is he can be subbed. He's been subbed twice. Benoit Saint-Denis, you know, he's got nasty ground and pound, though. I will say, Saint-Denis, when he gets on top of you, he can absolutely obliterate you with ground and pound too. So I'm just going with the Propelek. Survives a little early. He's a tough guy. He's never been finished in round one, Tim. Hear me out. Saint-Denis drags him a little bit later and finishes him. Round two is a disgusting plus 320. Round three is not a so disgusting plus 1,000 on FanDuel. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's round three, Tim. How I'm going to play this is I'm going to play the round two extremely small, like nothing, and then I'm going to play a little bit bigger on round three, just hoping that it gets there and hoping that, you know, the punishment dished out just might be too much, you know? So, yeah, I mean, Saint-Denis here. I honestly, the one thing I will say before I even give it to you here, Tim, I literally looked at Propelek KO at 23-1 because listen, this guy, Saint-Denis, I've seen him hurt multiple times. Multiple times.
Every fight, yeah.
Every fucking fight, this guy's been hurt. Okay. So Miranda hurt this guy, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, 23-1 KO on a guy that actually has fucking way more power than Miranda did. I don't know. Is it that bad? That's his only path. He knocks him out. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I agree. It's you're getting 23-1 is you can't be wrong on those for just a single prop. Like, I'm on the same ones. Round two, round three. Sub 2 is plus 650. Sub 3 is plus 1900. I think it could be either way, but I would lean sub more than just from the methodology of how Propelek is losing fights typically. So yeah, 2-3 for me as well. Hopefully you can survive around.
So they're saying Benoit Saint-Denis
looks like he had staff in a picture that I saw too.
Really?
Yeah.
Where? Like his IG or where are you?
Yeah, I saw pictures in a Discord.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's got staff again?
Yeah, I don't know what his problem is, but
I'm looking now.
Train.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Above his left eye.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's staff, dude.
No, yeah, it's
that looks like a. I'm gonna have to look into that. It looks like a cut, like that he scabbed at.
BSD is now Benoit Saint-Denis.
No, if you look at his photo, yeah, I don't think that's.
It's questionable. It's questionable. That's the thing.
Because if you see, he has a black eye under that left eye too. He got somewhere along the line in this training, he got fucking destroyed by somebody. Look at his left eye and see he has a black eye. He got fucking destroyed. So, could it be staff? I mean, I wouldn't count it out, obviously, but it looks like a cut to me. When I'm looking on these photos, it looks like an actual cut happened there. And if you do some research back, it's recent. This cut is recent. So yeah, I mean, he didn't have it 4 weeks ago. So and the black eye, he didn't have the black eye. So I don't know. It looks like a cut to me, not a staff. But anyways, let's move on. Fight number 9. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 16-4-1 Alexa Grasso versus the 18-5-1 Natalia Silva. Tim, which kind of lotion are you using?
This is the Juergens lotion fight of the night. It's quite obvious. Everybody knows that. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting because I mean, obviously, it's a big step up competition for Silva. Grasso is on the, it's like different escalators. You got the escalator going down, you got the escalator going up, and I think Grasso is probably one of the better strikers that Silva has had to face up, till this point. I think she's going to be. I think typically Silva in the last couple fights. I mean, like the Araujo fight, like she didn't deal with the pressure as well as I thought she would have versus Araujo, and I think also Araujo got a little bit of control time against her. I think that this fight is obviously just like the only ones that I could really go for that I think are very live are the Grasso by split decision, and this ends by split decision here. The tricky one for me too, like, I mean, the take a shot kind of one is Silva does go for a lot of spinning kicks in the same way that Valentina went for the spinning kick and then she got her back taken. Like, I think that that's like a path. Obviously, if she goes for that, I think it was on the tape with Valentina, and I think the study, she obviously studied that, and she was looking for that move the whole fight. So if Grasso did catch her in that situation and did take her back in that situation, I wouldn't be uber shocked because she's done it before, and you do see spinning shit from Silva. But yeah, I'll take the shot on the end split plus 275, which is dog shit, and then the Grasso by split at 9-1. They're not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, what am I going to take on this fight, Tim? Split decision. What split did you get?
Plus 275.
No, it's 4-1 on Bet Online.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's good.
4-1 on Bet Online. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can give, honestly. I don't think even it's going to be split, to be honest. I initially on this fight, prior to tape, I said, man, this line seems wide. Grasso at this price has to be a bet. 2-1, former champion. We saw Natalia Silva kind of struggle. She hasn't looked great in her last couple fights, right? The Andrade fight was semi-close, right? Like Andrade landed some big shots. And so was the Araujo fight. Back-to-back fights, she's been fighting kind of close, right? And now she's fighting a step up from those girls, you would say, in Alexa Grasso, right? The former champion. So like 2-1 is like, man, that's pretty big. But then I watched the tape, and the problem I have is I think Grasso's going to have a lot of trouble with the footwork. She's a boxer, and she's okay at cutting off the cage, but in a big cage, like, okay, so if you told me this was in the Apex, I probably would have played Grasso just because I think she can cut off the cage a little easier. She can close the distance, maybe use some grappling, even though I don't know if she's going to succeed. But my thing is she can close the distance easier, maybe get some hands on her, right? The bigger cage is just that much harder for her, dude. And I just think she's going to kick her from the outside, circle, and do the same shit she does in every fight. And win a points fight, So split maybe somehow if she lands some big shots and they think, that sways the judges somehow to Grasso. But honestly, I think, this is kind of I would say this is probably a title shot next for Natalia Silva, right? Like they're giving her the former champion. And if she beats the former champion, what does that mean?
Yes.
Right?
This is this is it.
Yeah, this is it. She wins and she gets a title shot. And I'm pretty sure she knows that. Meanwhile, the other girls, saying, oh, thank God I don't have the title anymore because it takes all the pressure off me. Like, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to have the title? What does that mean? Why don't you want to be the champion? Oh, because it takes pressure off you? Okay, then why get back to being a champion? You're going to have too much pressure on you, So I don't know. I think Silva is much faster, has the better footwork, the better overall striking. And I just don't think she can take her down, honestly, Grasso. She's going to have a very hard time in a big cage. So split is 400. I don't even really love it, to be honest. It's like, whatever. That's the only play I can give. I don't think there's going to be a finish. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going here. Split decision plus 400. Let's move on. Fight number 10. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 32-9 Jose Aldo versus the 12-2 Ayman Zahabi. This one's is mine. All right, hear me out on this one. Time out. Aldo, I don't know if you saw that tweet from him saying, oh, he's feeling the best he's ever felt, blah, 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 blah. And then he misses weight, and then he asks for fucking 145. He's like bragging about how good he feels and how everything is going good for this camp. And then proceeds to not even get close to the weight. He can't even make it. Then they make Zahabi cut all the way down to 136.8 when he showed before he got the call and said, hey, guys, he can't make weight. So then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to rehydrate. He rehydrates. And honestly, Aldo looks like shit on the fucking scales. He looks depleted. He looks defeated. I don't even know what else to make of that, but he did not look good at the scales, even at 143. Now, the guy is older, man. He's much, much older. He's getting to the point where there's going to be a cliff here sometime soon, Tim. There's going to be something that goes. We've seen that with other legends, right? With other legends that have been very durable, that have been, expecting to win against lower level opposition or opposition that they shouldn't lose to, right? But age has caught up to him. And age, I think, has been catching up to Aldo. Listen, does he have power in his hand? Sure. Is he still a good striker? Sure. Is he pretty quick? Yes. But, I also seen holes in his game. He can get clinched like we saw last fight. I think he's hittable as well. He's been getting hit a lot more lately. I think he's been getting hurt or at least look like he's been getting hurt a little more lately. This guy's very durable historically, right? I think he's been getting hurt a little bit more. And listen, I know people make it seem like, and I used to be that guy that I thought this is a hobby guy a while ago. I'm like, this guy's fucking sucks. He potentially lost that first UFC fight against Vieira. Then he got finished by Ramos. Then he looked like shit against Morales, and I'm like, well, and then that Tercios fight really turned me off. I'm like, what is this fight? But dude, he's looked really good lately. And, knocking out Arichi Lang, it's like, I don't know if, I don't want to say it's great, but this guy's never, ever been knocked out in like 40 fights, Arichi Lang. And he just like finished him. And then you look at that Basharat fight, Basharat, he's got very good footwork. He's hard to like catch, right? And he did well in that fight, even though Basharat was much faster. Basharat couldn't really get the fight to the ground. Like, he couldn't out-grapple him. And he found a way to win the fight, even though I think that fight was very close. Then you look at the Munoz fight, and he's absolutely putting it on Munoz. Honestly, I'm going to tell you something. If you put someone else in the Munoz spot, I think they get knocked out, honestly, because he was landing big, big right hands, man. Like, he fucked up Munoz's face bad. And I think he's going to land big shots on Aldo, honestly. And Tim, Zahabi KO, my friend. It's 10-1. I think he's he keeps it. Listen, he keeps his chin. He keeps his chin tucked, his hands up, and he loves the counters, man. Both these guys are counter punchers. But honestly, this guy, he keeps his nice. He has that fucking beautiful 1-2, man, right up the pipe. And his right hand has power in it. I'm telling you guys. He has a lot of power in his right hand if he connects. And I think he could finish Aldo. Aldo has been void defensively lately. He's been getting hit a lot more. And I think he can get countered here. And so I'm taking Zahabi here, KO, 10-1. Something that If you told me this 4 fights ago, I'd say, are you fucking crazy to take Zahabi by KO? There's no way this guy's going to knock this guy out. But, man, I think he has a lot of power in his right hand. And I think he can definitely get a KO here against the GOAT, Jose Aldo.
Love it. Love you taking a shot. I think that this fight is two counter punchers that are like gonna just stare the shit out of each other and wait to see who's gonna make the other guy go. Like it's the same. Like it's so similar actually in tennis. It's just like you get two counter punchers and it's just like whoever's gonna go for the shot first is gonna lose. Like it's just like the same thing in fighting. It's like the two counters. One's going to make the other go first. Probably the person that goes first is going to get countered and miss and then get hit. I think it's possible that you could see he hasn't done it in a long time for Aldo, but like, I think that the leg kicks could be there for him in this fight, just with how Zahabi fights. It's for me, I just think that this is like over under strikes, like landed is like 80. You know, both these guys are going to land like 40 to 45 strikes and just like stare and stare and stare. I think cage push is there for Zahabi. I found it really funny that like, I found it funny looking back at the fights when you see Aldo getting cage pushed versus Merab. He's making fun. He's mocking him when he's doing it. He's getting cage pushed against Batista. He's making fun of him as well. Everybody's booing Batista. And then when fucking Aldo is fighting Chito Vera in round 3, he is cage pushing for his life. Like he's like doing anything but fighting in that fight. And he's just like, I have to cage push this guy. So he's a little bit hypocritical there, but he's to me, it's Zahabi by split 9-1, ends by split 3-1. Seems pretty obvious. Just like two counter punchers, low striking.
Yeah. And that definitely could be the case, too. I mean, where it's a staring match, that would be awful. That might look like Tercios all over again.
For sure.
Which would be brutal. All right. Let's move on. Co-main event of the night. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 24-4-1 champion, Valentina Shevchenko, versus the challenger, the 12-1, Manon Furo. And this one's yours, Tim.
Oh, this is just another. I mean, you guys are gonna be bored with me until with this ends by split shit. But it's just like this is really the only ones I see happening. Honestly, in this fight is like it's being a close striking battle. I was trying to get myself to like a Val by submission prop on this one, just saying like if she can get takedowns and shit like that, but I can't really get to it just because I just don't think that. I don't know. I think that if she gets her down, I think it's not going to be easy to hold her down. And I just think striking wise, I think that this is, I think it's like overrated the chances that she could just top timer for 3 rounds, 4 rounds like she did against Grasso. This is just a completely physical, the physicality between Manon and Grasso. It's just not even close. But I also don't think that like, I think a lot of people are talking about like Furo's striking and her quickness, which is obviously elite, being like just significantly better than Valentina's. And I just like don't agree with that. Like, I don't know what, obviously I think she's declining. Valentina's declining and is a little bit slower and is taking more shots than she used to. And she's not as quick in and out as she used to be. But I just don't think that this is like 70-30 Manon standing. And if this fight, if she keeps it standing, this is just like, oh, this is clear as day. Valentina needs to be able to have grappling success in order to win. Like Valentina was winning almost all of the rounds versus Grasso striking minus getting dropped in one round. Like she was beating her, then she gets fucking back taken and subbed. Like she was winning that fight 2-1 as well. Like, so it's not like she can't fucking strike. And then looking at the Furo side, I mean, Rose, I'm pretty sure Rose outstruck her. Obviously, the bigger shots were from Manon, but like Rose had a broken hand in that fight. She had like a major injury. I'm pretty sure it was a broken hand. Am I wrong on that?
Finger. Her finger.
Okay, broke some part of her hand.
Her finger 2.5 minutes in round 1.
Yeah, like just my point is that she had an injury to her hand that you're not going to be striking the same, you're not going to be grappling the same, and that fight was much closer than people like give credit to. So I just think that this is, you have a elite striker in both sides, super women's MMA. I think the grappling upside is on Valentina. Could be wrong there, you never know. But I ends by split. Plus 275, Val by split, plus 700. Sign me up.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at this fight and I'm like, man, I got to play Shevchenko at plus money. You know, the champion, blah, blah, blah. The line had moved way too much. And upon taping, I kind of feel like the line's like accurate. It should be around here, around Pick'em. And I'll tell you why. There's a couple of things that I don't like from both girls, to be honest, from tape. Manon Furo, first of all, when Blanchfield was pressuring her and landing, she was not liking it, dude. She was turning a lot. She was doing a lot of weird shit, weird vibes I was getting from her in that fight when Blanchfield was landing. And Blanchfield, if you look at her, she was running like head fucking first like this and just throwing punches like wild as shit, you know? And she was still finding like shots on her. And, you know, but Furo, like for the most part, stuffed the takedowns. But the other thing with that fight is like Blanchfield didn't even go for many takedowns. She
shot like three, right? Three. Yeah.
Namajunas fight, like, but Rose is a good striker. I have to give it, like, she's fat. I think Rose is faster than Shevchenko is, like, as far as, you know, speed wise, and she's a little bit more bouncy, right? She moves a little bit more. But again, in that fight, like, Rose messed up her finger, so we don't know. Like, you could tell Rose went to the opposite stance. She couldn't fight her in her stance anymore because she started using her left hand more because she couldn't throw her right. And, you know, the whole fight was upside down. Now, the Chookagian fight, like, you know, it was pretty competitive, you know, fight. Like, striking, obviously, Chookagian is bigger and she competes with most of the girls on the feet. I just, like, looking at Furo, like, she's physical, yes. She has good takedown defense, yes. But, like, I don't think her striking is anything special. Like, she can strike. I don't think she has, like, crazy power. I don't, you know, she has that stupid side kick that she does. But, like, you know, I don't think she's anything special, honestly. Like, I'm watching her tape, and I don't see anything special, right? Then I watched Shevchenko, and this is why I couldn't play her, Tim, is because every time she's fought a very strong girl, a girl that's physical, right? She hasn't looked good, dude. Like, go back and watch the Talia Santos fight.
Yep.
She was getting fucked up in the grappling early until Santos got tired. Like, every clinch that was 50-50, Santos was winning it. She was getting the takedown. Every single time. She was stronger, you know? So when I look at that fight against Santos and I see that she was losing these clinch battles against Santos, I don't feel fucking great thinking that she's going to get takedowns, because most of her takedowns, again, are like body lock trips, you know, stuff like that. That in these 50-50 positions, I don't think she wins them here against Furo, right? Now, honestly, the striking is very close to me. Like, if Valentina fights smart and pressures more, doesn't let this girl just use her length, right? She pressures her, she kicks those legs, she throws hands in combination, right? I think she can get to her and she can land shots on her. But again, like, the physicality for me is an issue, because you go back to the Nunes fight, obviously, and it was the physicality that kind of hurt her a little bit, right? And now she's older, right? She's a little bit older. I saw that physicality, you know, rear its head in the Talia Santos fight. I did not like what I saw. And to be quite honest, both these girls, Tim, I don't love their look later in fights. I don't think either of them have, like, great cardio. I think Shevchenko has really been slowing down in fights. And I know last fight, it was, like, so easy, dude. She was getting takedowns. She didn't work, right? But you see these other two, the split draw and the other one, she didn't have great cardio in those fucking fights. She was getting tired. And I saw the same exact thing from Furo in the Blanchfield fight later on. I think she was getting really tired as well. So both these girls are up there. Both these girls, I don't think like Shevchenko, like back in the day, if you gave me Shevchenko in her prime, I would take her in a heartbeat. I think she's a lot slower now too, dude. Like watching that last Grasso fight in the striking, she's slow. Shevchenko is much slower than she used to be. So I don't know, man. If this is I hate everything in this fight. I literally do. I looked at all these props and they all suck. Every single prop here sucks. I think Shevchenko plus 220 by decision, maybe. Just maybe. That's even that I don't like, to be honest. But
do you think? Sorry to interrupt. Do you think that the sidekick is going to open up some opportunities for takedowns for Val?
No, because I think she throws it so fast and tricky. Like I don't know if she's going to be able to catch those. You know, they're very fast and powerful too. Like, and you got to remember, Manon has good balance. Like she's doing this kick all the time. She's going to be expecting maybe it gets caught. I think she can keep her balance on one leg, even if it gets caught. You know.
Yeah, so, I agree too with the strength. I think that the strength of Manon, the physicality is like on par, at least like level with Santos.
Yeah, and that strength gave her a lot of problems. Now, I am telling you, I don't really like the visuals from Manon when she gets pressured. She does not like pressure. She likes that outside. She can jump in and out, 1, 2, boom, boom, kick you, move. And she loves that. She loves that type of fight. When Blanchfield tried to make it dirty, she was succeeding, even though I disagree with 50-45 three-way. I don't know how it was. I think one round she won. But anyways, regardless, Blanchfield has zero striking. Her striking sucks, to be honest. It's bad, especially defensively. Like, she literally runs in head first. And so at least Valentina can set up takedowns, you know, with striking, right? Maybe she can hit her and then duck under, right? So I don't know. Like, that's why I'm so, like, torn on this fight. I don't really like anything. I thought I was going to play Shevchenko. I can't. If anything, I lean a little bit for Rowe, but I'm not playing this fight.
Yeah, it's probably a really good, like, sit back and live bet when after you get some questions answered.
I mean, if you somehow got, like, you know, I don't know, even Furo at minus 108, I know you have value now, but even then I couldn't play her. I think it's kind of like a pick'em.
Yeah.
Pick'em fight. Like, why plus 100, I don't want to play anybody, to be honest. I truly think it's a pick'em fight. And, you know, we'll see. Maybe we get a live betting opportunity or something, but yeah.
See if you like exchanges and then see like the clinch and see like who's turning.
The clinch is going to matter a lot. I do think she's going to lose her clinch battles here.
Yeah, it's interesting because if she doesn't, that's like insta bet.
Oh, if she doesn't lose the clinch against Furo and she like succeeds, I'm going to bet her immediately.
Yeah, because
I truly think she's not going to win those clinch battles, and if she does, then I think that's her fight to lose. Yeah. You know. All right, 636 live viewers. Thank you very much. Do me one favor, hit the like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I have 2.8K or almost 2.9 subscribers. Let's get to 3,000, please. It would be good, you know, just to see that 3K, you know, subscribers them. We've come a long way, so that I would appreciate that. 640 of you in here, probably around, I would guess, like 100 of them are not subscribers them. What do you think? So we should get up to almost 3K, right?
Yeah, I would assume that.
Yeah. Also, my Discord, the link is down below. Click that link and put in Narco 315 for $3.15 for the first month. So you get the first month for $3.15 with the code Narco 315. With that, Tim, it's main event time, man. It's main event time, and it's for the welterweight championship. It is the champion, the 24-3, Belal Muhammad versus the challenger, the 17-2, Jack Della Maddalena. And this is a really good matchup, man. This is a matchup of striker versus grappler. And, when you look at Jack Della, the man's a striker. The man's a very good boxer. I've made a lot of money with this guy. I've been riding this train for a long time, guys. I love Jack Della. I've always said this guy is one day, very early on in his career, I said, this guy's going to get to the top because of how good his boxing is, how good he goes to the body. He mixes his striking so well. He's so calm. He's got good cardio. He has good scrambling ability. All those things that you see, he has good attributes when he was younger, and I'm like, this guy's going to make it to the top. I wish I can go back and find the clip, but he's here now. He's made it to the top. He's fighting for the title, and he's fighting a champion in Belal Muhammad who, everybody hates this guy. He's 24-3. He's a workman-like fighter. He's done he's taken every one of his Flintstone vitamins for the past 3 years, hence why he looks the way he looks. So the guy is, he trains hard. He takes his vitamins. He's 36 years old. So he's getting up there, but he's looked the best lately, right? Like if you look at Belal Muhammad 5 years ago compared to the Belal Muhammad, so if we take him in his prime at 31, we say that's his prime, right? And we say, okay, Belal Muhammad is 36 now. Well, guess what? He looks like in his prime. He didn't look like in his prime back then. So this guy's done it through hard work, through training, through vitamins, you name it, right? And he mixes in wrestling really, really well, man. I love his chain wrestling. I love his cardio. I think he's very durable. He can shoot 25 takedowns in a fight and still keep going. And it's the chain wrestling, dude. It's the Khabib style, right? Wrestling. One after another, defend one. Well, another one's coming. Defend that one. Another one's coming. A high crotch is coming. A lift and slam you on the head is coming. All types of shit are coming. And what he's changed in his game that I love is how he mixes in his striking to change levels. He makes you think about his punches and he ducks under perfectly for a takedown, and that's a very, very good thing to have. Like, you don't want to just shoot naked takedowns, right? Naked takedowns, when you're at the top, they stuff those. They're going to stuff them. But when you're throwing punches like that and you're mixing in all these nice punches, his jab, I will tell you, his fucking jab last fight against Leon Edwards looked amazing. He had an amazing jab, man. A powerful, very, very, very good jab that he used. And he literally was snapping Leon's head back like a ping pong every fucking round. And so, the guy is really leveled up, man. There's nothing else to say outside of, you want to go back and make fun of him, in the first Leon fight or in the Lyman Good fight, or you say in the Jeff Neal fight. It's a different fighter, guys. Forget about that. Throw that out the window. I'm being completely serious too. It's a completely different fighter. He's got way better hands. He mixes in his takedowns. And look at his physique. It's completely different. It's not the same guy anymore. So I don't care what he looked like, 6 years ago. It's just not the same fighter. So, and then you look at the Jack Della fight and, okay, he gets put into the main event, right? He gets put in the title shot. Is he deserving of the title shot? That's what we should ask ourselves, right? And when you look at his resume, I really don't think he's deserving of a title shot. He isn't. And the only reason he got it is because Shevchenko got hurt, right? So he got the title shot. Now, if you're to ask me, did he deserve it or Ian Gary, I would 100% say Ian Gary deserved it, not him. Obviously, they gave it to him. And when you look at these fights, dude, like early on, he was looking good. Ange Lusa fight, by the way, in Contender Series wasn't a great look. He was in an arm triangle. Wasn't a great look, right? But then the following 4 fights, he looked great. And he knocked everybody out in round 1, right? the Randy Brown one was very impressive. You know, he hurt him, took his back, subbed him, right? But then the last 3 fights, Tim, there's a lot to be desired, man. Like, Basel Hafez didn't look great. Kevin Holland, wasn't a great look. I mean, it was a pretty close fight. Gilbert Burns, the washed Gilbert Burns, didn't look good again. A lot of takedowns, man. And, you know, you could say that he scrambled well and he got up and he did well and he still finished the fight. Yes. But when we look at Gilbert Burns, like I tried to go through when has this guy ever gotten 7 takedowns in a fight? You know, Gilbert Burns got 7 takedowns in that fight. And I went through his whole UFC career, Tim, entire UFC career. And the most takedowns he's ever had is 4 against a washed Jorge Masvidal. That's it. And now all of a sudden, he got 7 against this guy in one of his, you know, he's basically done with Gilbert Burns, right? So my point is that Jack Della is facing a way better wrestler now, and a guy that actually sets up his wrestling with really good striking, with jab, with a 1-2, with mixing punches everywhere. And I think it's going to give Jack some trouble, right? Now, I do think Jack's going to be able to scramble and able to get up. He's strong. He's got pretty good hips to get up. I don't think Bilal has the best control, right? When he gets to your back, he has pretty good control. I don't think he has the best control. I feel like this fight is close. Again, I look at this line, and I was thinking I was going to play Bilal. I just can't get there because I think Jack wins the bigger moments in this fight. He wins those moments where he could potentially hurt Bilal. He digs to the body really, really good. He's got those nasty shots to the body. But if I was to take a winner, I do think Bilal mixes in the wrestling. I think he wins this fight. It's going to be very, very close, in my opinion. Hence why when it's that close, I do think it's going to go the distance. I don't think any one of these guys is getting finished. And this is a show about props and pricing. I have to go with Jack Della Maddalena by decision at 6.5 to 1. I'm looking at him. He is plus 150. The guy, you know, say whatever you want about him. He's still 3-0 in decisions. He knows how to win decisions. You know, it's not like he doesn't know how to win decisions. And, you know, Bilal also in his own realm, he's great at winning decisions. He's 18-2. So it's like, it's minutes over moments, Tim. We say this time and again. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be Bilal that's going to be getting his hand raised. But I wouldn't be shocked if Jack won a decision because of the bigger moments. So plus 650, JDM by decision is my official pick. But my official pick for the winner of the fight is Bilal Muhammad. Tim?
Yeah, solid breakdown. I have a few written down on this one. I like put down, and if I'm on Jack by points. I'm on Jack by split for the same reasons that you just said at the end there. I think it's like one of those fights where if you look back at the Bilal Leon fight, like Leon was a few like moments away from potentially even winning that fight. Like it was much closer, obviously, than the scorecards. He had some moments where he turned on top. He just didn't do enough, which is classic Leon. I think in this fight, I think that it's not, you're not going to get that from Jack. I think like you might get 3.5 minutes of control, and then Jack has his 1.5 minutes, like you're saying, to like go after him. So, you know, Jack's split decision line is also plus 1,400. So like if I was on Jack, I'd be on the points 650 and 1,400 by split. And I think that I think he's probably going to fight southpaw a lot in this fight because that seems to give Bilal some struggles. He fought Jeff Neal. He got murdered in that fight. When he got knocked out by Luque, he's southpaw. He just seems to struggle a little bit more with southpaws than orthodox, and Jack can switch stances. I think he's going to do a little bit more southpaw. So yeah, I think that I like your decision for Jack, and I like the split for Jack, but I'm gonna give out some whisper bets here. Why not take a shot on Bilal sub 345? Like, I just think that it's like he's gotten the back of multiple guys. He never really, his jiu-jitsu is not great, his control is not great, but like you said, he does get guys backs. And I just think like Emeev was super close to his triangle. Lusa was super, super close on his triangle. Like, it's not like I don't even think Burns really was even going for subs. I think he was just trying to hold him. Like, I think that if he would have been smarter to actually go for subs. The sub 3 is 41-1. The sub 4 is 49-1. Sub 5 is 55-1. So I don't know. I just think I just think it's possible. I think he's obviously going to grapple him. He's obviously going to have positions, whether or not he's going for control or not. I think if he gets his back, I think it's going to be live.
What were the prices you said?
41-1, 49-1, 55-1.
That's a lot more. I mean, just as regular 3-4-5 are pretty damn big.
They're big too. Yeah, I had those written down too. They're 24-1, 29-1, and 32-1.
Yeah, they're very big. I mean,
so 3-4-5, and then mix up the sub for me. Yeah, I think it's just stupid. Like, there's no way like Angelusa and Emeev. Like, I mean, honestly, both of those subs were like locked in. Like, he got out of them, but like he was in bad spots.
You know what I wonder, honestly, and you might call me crazy, but I looked at them and I'm probably gonna play them. I have to say this to the people just because what I feel. So Jack Della's been grappling a lot with Craig Jones, right? And I mean, he has pretty good like front chokes, stuff like that, and he's very, very strong. And apparently in one of the videos, he choked out Craig Jones. I don't know if you saw the video. He choked him out. He put him to sleep. Dude, his round 3, 4, 5 sub are fucking insane.
You gotta be like 100-1s, right?
Dude, I wrote him down, but I have to sprinkle him. It's 100-1 in round 3 sub, 120-1 on round 4, and 140-1 on round 5.
Yeah, $10 each.
Like if he think about it, if he like hurts Bilal and he shoots for a weird, like stupid sloppy takedown,
sure,
of course he can sub him.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he sub him? So I don't know, man. It's like insane numbers. 100, 120, and 140-1. What the fuck are we doing here?
Who is defending? Like, who is defending subs versus Bilal, like, or takedowns with subs?
What do you mean? I don't get it.
I'm just saying, like, when he's like, I'm looking at guys that have even attempted subs against him. Like, he's not even getting guys to attempt subs at him.
I don't think many guys have attempted subs against him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Jordan Main was like forever ago. Like, even like nobody's attempting subs on him. You're 100% right.
No one has. And I know that Jack actually goes for subs. I mean, we've seen him multiple times fucking pull guillotine, even though it's not smart.
Yeah.
But in a scenario where he hurts him, right? He hurts him and he snatches the neck. Like, bro, these prices are fucking crazy. I'm like, these can't be right. When I looked at like fight odds, I'm like, these can't be fucking right. Like 120-1, 140-1. And I look, and sure enough, they are. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, I gotta play these. Like, you gotta be you twisted my hand all the way like this behind my back. I'm gonna fucking play them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, that's it. We went through all 12 fights. Time for the Lambo parlays. Tim, kick us off here.
I'm going to do a round robin of 2-3s with Jasmine and Marc-Andre Berio as my regulars. And then shoot for the moon this week, man. JJ KO 2-3, Marc-Andre Berio sub 2-3 is over 200-1.
Wait. Do it again. Say it again.
So JJ 2-3, Marc-Andre Berio 2-3 is the round robin, just regular.
Okay.
And then the shoot for the moon is JJ KO 2-3 with Berio sub 2-3.
Sub?
For Berio sub 2-3?
I'm shocked you're going with sub.
I'm just saying, like, I think it's a KO, and that's why I'm putting the 2-3 in the regular one. But like, I mean, Silva loses by sub a lot. So if it's a club and sub, or maybe he grapples.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk you out of it. For me, it's a watered down version, man. I'm trying to hit one here. I got to hit one. Mine is going to be Sterling KO, Silva decision, and JJ round 2-3. Mix it up. 24-1, 31-1. Nothing crazy, Tim. I don't want to go crazy. But you know, you gave the crazy ones this week. We're going to stick to the crazy ones with you. And I will give the watered down ones at 24-1 and 31-1. And if you actually want a Lambo, right, Tim? If you actually want a Lambo, just go play these submission props 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're all Lambos. You know, it's like maybe clubs and subs them. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's it. We went through all 12 fights, Lambo parlays, 687 live viewers. Please hit the like on the way out. Please subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow on Twitter or X Spaces, whatever you want to call them, I will be doing the final bell. It's been actually getting a lot of traction, the show. 200 plus live viewers every week. Hopefully you get the numbers up. I'm working on a sponsor for that show. So I've been giving a lot of the ladder parlays. Last week I gave out 2 separate ones that hit 16-1 and 18-1 on takedown ladders. So if you want to play those takedown ladders on DraftKings and you want to listen, I will be giving them out tomorrow on the show, a couple of them at least. With that being said, Tim, any parting words for the people here?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. No parting words. Thank you very much to everybody. Good luck tomorrow. And let's cash those tickets for UFC 315.